got the flights locked, the hotel picked, the out-of-office set. Then you hit the airport and pause. A gate agent squints at your ID, a scanner throws an error, or a tiny processing fee suddenly doubles your budget ticket. The trip doesn't explode. It just stalls. Welcome to 2026 travel, where small changes have big consequences. We're talking face scan eGates rolling out across US airports, Europe counting every single day you spend in Schengen, green fees quietly added to fares. And yes, refund rules finally work for travelers, but only if you know the hidden trigger. Quick gut check. Could a 2% phone battery keep me off the plane? Yes. Will a bottle that passes in Rome get tossed in Atlanta? It can. If my first leg is domestic, can a regular driver's license still get me through? Sometimes not. Here's the plan. I'll walk you through 20 changes that can quietly shut down a perfectly good itinerary, plus the exact moves to keep everything moving. Learn them now, and you get a vacation. Skip them, and you get a story, the expensive kind. Buckle up. Let's start with the one mistake that stops travelers cold: Real ID. One missing star, that's all it takes to ground you. You walk up to the TSA, hand over your license, and the officer pauses. No gold star, no Real ID compliance, no flight. Since May 7th, 2025, TSA's been enforcing the rule nationwide. And by 2026, there's no exception left. That tiny star on your license isn't a design choice. It's a federal travel pass. Without it, you'll need a passport or another approved ID to board any domestic flight. But here's the part most people don't realize. Even if your final stop is Paris or Tokyo, that first short hop to New York still counts as domestic. No Real ID means your trip ends before it even begins. Thousands of travelers have learned that the hard way. Don't be one of them. Check your license now. If it's missing the star, grab your passport until you update it. And don't rely on Apple Wallet or Google Wallet alone. A dead phone battery won't open a security gate. Seriously, don't let one tiny star turn your dream vacation into an unplanned staycation at the DMV. Because, while this rule gets you through the airport, the next one decides how fast you move beyond it, and how much it'll cost. Let's talk about Global Entry 2026, and why frequent flyers are suddenly paying more for a process that used to be simple. If you travel internationally or re-enter the US often, this one's for you. Global Entry just got pricier and pickier. The renewal fee's up 20%, from $100 to $120, and everything now runs through the online portal. You'll update your passport and ID there. No paper forms, no mailing. But one small upload mistake can stall your approval for weeks. A blurry or dark photo is all it takes. So renew early, 6 to 12 months before expiration, and double-check your travel credit cards. Many refund the fee, but most people never claim it. I bet some of you are checking your cards right now. If yours covers it, drop it in the comments. Let's see which banks actually have travelers' backs. And once you're approved, expect to meet more cameras than officers. CBP's rolling out touchless face scan kiosks across major airports, replacing the old fingerprint pads. It's fast, sleek, and slightly surreal when a machine recognizes you before you even open your passport. Think of this as the new checkpoint. Less paperwork, more automation, and zero room for sloppy details. And before you even hit book, wait till you see what airlines have quietly added to your ticket. Green fees that make those budget fares feel a lot less friendly. You spot a flight to Paris for $290 and think you've cracked the code until checkout hits harder than turbulence. The ticket didn't change. The taxes didn't change. But your total? Suddenly higher. That's the new green fee creeping into airfare, the quiet surcharge airlines now add under the banner of sustainability. In Europe, it's part of the Refuel EU program that began in 2025 and tightens through 2026. Major airlines like the Lufthansa Group have already rolled out environmental surcharges through their green fares, adding the cost of cleaner fuel directly into ticket prices across Europe and beyond. And now Singapore's joining in, introducing a SAF levy on every flight departing Changi as part of its own green fuel plan. It sounds great for the planet until you realize your ticket just got more eco-friendly and less wallet-friendly. The higher the distance and seat class, the steeper the eco charge. A short regional hop might add a few dollars. A transatlantic premium seat could tack on 40 or more. Here's a quick sanity check before you click book. Expand the full fare breakdown. That fine print section labeled taxes and carrier surcharges? That's where these new eco fees hide. Sometimes the cheaper ticket isn't cheap at all once everything's itemized. There's no real way to skip them, but you can dodge the worst of it. Midweek flights and multi-airline itineraries often carry smaller surcharges, and inside Europe, trains are stealing the spotlight, cleaner, quieter, and often faster door-to-door than short-haul flights. Green fees might save the planet, but they're definitely making your bank account look a little greener too. Next, we move from prices to people, or rather, to faces. The TSA's new biometric eGates are changing airport security forever, and your face became your ticket to get through. Airports are about to recognize you, literally. Across the US, TSA is replacing ID checks with biometric eGates that scan your face instead of your passport. You step up, look at the lens, and if the system recognizes you, the glass doors slide open. No ID handoff, no paper boarding pass. A few seconds, and you're through. The goal? To make screening faster and smoother, especially ahead of the 2026 World Cup, when millions of travelers will pass through US airports. We'll dig deeper into how that event might reshape travel later in this video. But for now, this tech is TSA's way of getting ready. The system matches your face to the photo stored in your travel record, usually your passport, and clears you automatically. It's already active in airports like Atlanta, Seattle, and Washington, D.C., mainly for Clear Plus members, and the rollout is accelerating nationwide. But hold on, it's not flawless yet. Early trials show that glasses can confuse the scanner, harsh lighting can throw it off, and identical twins? The system still can't tell them apart. You think face scans are fast? Not when they're trying to choose between two matching smiles. TSA says as the photos aren't stored permanently, but privacy groups are still keeping an eye on how those images are processed. If you're curious, or want a shorter line, you can opt in through Clear Plus or at select TSA checkpoints. Still, keep your physical ID close. If the scanner glitches, that old plastic card is your golden ticket. This is the new normal, touchless, efficient, and quietly watching. And while the US perfects facial recognition, Europe's taking things one step further, replacing passport stamps with full biometric tracking. That's coming up next in rule number 5, the EU entry-exit system. Now, let's talk about the change that could impact your next European trip more than any other. The EU entry-exit system, or EES, is finally live, launched on October 12, 2025, and it's transforming how non-EU travelers enter and leave the Schengen area. No more passport stamps. Instead, every arrival and departure is logged digitally through fingerprint and facial scans. A familiar sight at airports like Paris Charles de Gaulle, Amsterdam Schiphol, or Frankfurt these days. Long lines of puzzled travelers crowding around new biometric kiosks, unsure where to look or when to scan. According to The Independent, airlines have warned passengers to allow at least 4 extra hours for border checks during this transition, as airports adjust to the new system. That first encounter has been anything but smooth. Some kiosks freeze mid-scan, families with kids take longer to register, and border agents are still switching between manual and digital checks. The process feels slower for now, but that's the trade-off for a border that knows exactly who's coming and going. The 90-day rule hasn't changed. Short-term visitors can still stay up to 90 days within any 180-day period, but now it's enforced to the exact day. Overstay even once, and the system automatically flags your record. There's no missing stamp to buy you time anymore. If you're hopping between countries, keep count of your total days in Schengen. A few travelers have already been stopped at departure because their record showed 91 days instead of 90. Keep your boarding passes or train tickets. They're your best proof if something glitches. EES will take some patience as Europe adapts, but once you're registered, border crossings should feel far more seamless. And soon, that won't be the only digital step before your trip, because Europe's next system, ETIAS, will decide whether you can even board the plane. Picture this. Your passport's valid, your flight's on time, everything's ready to go. Then the gate agent looks up and says, "Sorry, you're not cleared to board." You did everything right, except for one thing you didn't even know existed. Ever had that happen to you? That missing step is ETIAS, short for the European Travel Information and Authorization System, a new digital permit expected to launch in late 2026. Once it's active, travelers from visa-free countries like the US, Canada, and the UK will need to register online before heading to Europe. So yes, if you're flying from New York to Paris, you'll need this done before you even reach the airport. Think of it as Europe's version of the US ESTA. You fill out a short online form, add your passport details, answer a few background questions, and pay about €7. The approval lasts 3 years and works for multiple trips, as long as each visit stays within the short stay limit. You might think it's instant, but not always. Some applications go into manual review and can take several days. A small typo or an expired passport can hold everything up. You think it takes 5 minutes? Not always. Some travelers wait a week for approval. And beware of scams. Fake ETS websites are already popping up, charging extra or harvesting data. When the system launches, apply only through the EU's official portal, nowhere else. Everything happens online. No interviews, no paper forms. Once approved, your ETS links automatically to your passport. Simple. But skip it, and your trip ends right at the check-in counter. If this rule officially goes live, tap like and subscribe. I'll keep you posted on the rollout, the real EU application link, and the airline tricks you should know. And while Europe is still preparing for ETS, the UK has already gone one step ahead. Its own digital travel permit, the ETA, is live right now, and even transit passengers are getting caught off guard. There's a major update you need to know if you plan to visit or even pass through the United Kingdom. Sounds a bit like Europe's ETIAS, right? Almost, but the details matter, and missing one can stop your trip cold. Let's break it down. The UK ETA, short for Electronic Travel Authorization, is now required for travelers from visa-free countries including the US, Canada, and most of Europe. You'll need it not just to enter the UK, but even if you're changing flights and step outside the secure zone. Applying is surprisingly easy. Think order an Uber easy. Download the official UK ETA app, scan your passport, answer a few quick questions, pay the £16 fee, and you're done. Approval usually arrives within 24 hours, and once granted, it links straight to your passport for up to 2 years, or until your passport expires. Too smooth to be true? Not always. A few applications still take longer, and a mistyped passport number can lock you out. But there's a payoff. Once approved, you'll breeze through immigration with no forms, no stamps, no paper clutter. Here's a quick insider trick. Remove your phone case before scanning your passport. The NFC reader is finicky, and that one small move can save you from a mid-air panic at the airport check-in counter. Overall, it's a sleek upgrade, faster entry, fewer lines, and less waiting around. So whether you're heading to London for the weekend or swapping planes at Heathrow, make sure your ETA is cleared before you pack your bags. Elsewhere across Europe, airlines are taking a different path, phasing out paper boarding passes entirely. That shift is redefining what check-in means, and it's coming up next in rule number 8, the digital boarding pass era. Do you still keep old boarding passes or miss the stamp in your passport? That tiny proof that a moment really happened. Those little mementos are disappearing faster than the ink that printed them, and nostalgia is proving hard to delete. Airlines are now stepping into a fully digital age. Ryanair led the shift in late 2025, removing printed boarding passes entirely. Everything, from check-in to boarding, now runs through the airline's mobile app. Across the Atlantic, carriers like Delta and United are deepening their push into digital boarding through their apps and Apple Wallet integration. And many believe it's only a matter of time before paper passes quietly fade out for good. On paper, it looks efficient and eco-friendly. But not everyone's on board with it. Older travelers, or anyone less comfortable with smartphones, are finding the new system stressful. A dead battery, a frozen app, or a confusing update can turn an easy flight into a small disaster. One passenger joked it's progress that requires a power bank and a teenager to explain it. Still, for tech-savvy flyers, digital passes mean smoother check-ins, real-time gate updates, and less clutter to carry. It's cleaner, quicker, and harder to lose, unless your phone decides otherwise. So tell me, which side are you on? Team Digital Boarding Pass or Team Old School Ticket Stub? Drop your answer below. Next, let's check your carry-on, because new lithium battery rules coming in 2026 could determine what makes it past the gate and what doesn't. If you're flying with a power bank, an e-cigarette, or even an electric toothbrush, this is one rule that could stop you right before boarding. Lithium battery policies aren't new, but they're being enforced much more strictly in 2025 and 2026. Airlines are under growing pressure after a string of in-flight overheating incidents. One case that recently made headlines was the Air China flight on October 18th, where a passenger's power bank began smoking midair, prompting an emergency response. The incident reignited global debate about battery safety, especially for devices without clear capacity markings. Here's what's changing. From January 2026, Southwest Airlines will limit removable lithium batteries to 300 watt-hours. TSA agents are also paying closer attention to battery labels, especially for smart luggage with built-in chargers. If the watt-hour rating, WH, or lithium content isn't printed clearly, officers can ask you to prove it or remove the item altogether. So before you pack, double-check every battery. Most airlines follow FAA guidelines, up to 100 watt-hours for general devices or 2 spares up to 160 watt-hours each, all in your carry-on, never checked in. If your carry-on gets gate checked, always remove your power bank first. Once that bag goes under, those batteries can't go with it. It's a small detail, but one that can easily delay your trip or cost you a brand new charger. Stay tuned and subscribe, because the next change might surprise you. Europe is finally rewriting its liquid limits, and the 100 milliliter rule may soon become history. It's been nearly 20 years since travelers started squeezing every drop into 100 milliliter bottles. Now Europe's finally relaxing the rule, but only in select airports. Berlin, Rome, Amsterdam, Milan, and Edinburgh have introduced 3D CT scanners that allow liquids up to 2 liters in your carry-on. You can keep full-size shampoo, perfume, or a sealed water bottle without pulling them out. It's the smoothest security experience most travelers have seen in years. But the change isn't universal. Some terminals still run on the old system, even within the same country. If your route includes a mix, say Rome to Paris to Boston, one outdated checkpoint can still send your toiletries straight to the trash. And in the US, the TSA hasn't budged. The 311 rule still stands. Before you fly, do a 2-minute check. Most airports now post online whether CT scanners are active or liquid limits lifted. That quick search can save you a €20 bottle at the gate. Until every airport catches up, keep smaller containers for backup. The rule's changing. Not everywhere, not yet. Meanwhile, in Asia, another kind of rulebook is taking shape, one that could decide whether you even get through immigration. Let's head to Japan, where new insurance requirements and tax-free rules may reshape how visitors shop, spend, and stay in 2026. In this part, we're heading to Japan, a country known for precision, politeness, and soon, a few new travel hoops to jump through. By 2026, visitors may face 2 big updates: mandatory travel insurance and a revamped tax-free refund system. The proposed insurance rule comes after local hospitals reported a growing number of unpaid medical bills from foreign tourists, over 60 million in 1 month of 2024. To fix it, Japan plans to require proof of valid travel insurance before entry. It's not law yet, but it's moving fast, and skipping it could mean being denied boarding once it's enforced. For travelers, that's one more document to prepare. Make sure your policy includes medical coverage inside Japan, not just trip cancellation. A little planning could save you a huge bill later. The second change hits every traveler's weak spot: shopping. Japan's tax-free system is being redesigned. Instead of skipping tax at checkout, you'll pay it up front and claim a refund at the airport, similar to Europe's system. Here's the quick rundown. The 5,000 minimum for tax-free purchases will disappear. Special packaging for consumables? Gone. And from November 1st, 2026, purchases over 1 million will need your ID or product serial logged. Keep your receipts. Refunds now depend on showing them before departure. Small details, big impact. Japan's next travel era is about structure, not spontaneity. Would this make your trip smoother or just more stressful? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you see it. If you think Japan's getting complicated, just wait. South Korea may flip the script again, as its visa waiver for 2026 could surprise even frequent flyers. South Korea has been one of the easiest countries in Asia to visit lately. No long forms, no visa stress, a quick flight, and you're in. But that convenience might not last much longer. Right now, travelers from more than 20 visa-exempt countries, including the US, Canada, Australia, and Singapore, are enjoying a temporary K-ETA waiver. That exemption runs through December 31st, 2025, and after that, the government is expected to review whether the program returns in 2026. The risk? Many travelers assume the waiver will stay forever. Then they show up at the airport, only to find out their airline can't issue a boarding pass without K-ETA approval. Once that happens, there's no way around it. You either apply on the spot or miss your flight. To avoid that mess, check the official Visit Korea website or your local Korean consulate before you fly in 2026. Updates can happen quietly, and airlines will follow whatever the latest rule says, even if it changes overnight. South Korea's entry system is one of the smoothest in Asia, but it's also one of the fastest to update. Staying a step ahead now can save you a major airport headache later. Are you planning a trip to Korea soon? Follow and subscribe. I'll keep you posted the moment Seoul announces whether the K-ETA waiver stays or disappears for good. Remember the 2026 World Cup I mentioned earlier? Now it's becoming real, and it's set to redefine travel across 2 continents. From June to July 2026, the US, Canada, and Mexico will host the largest World Cup ever. 48 teams, 16 cities, and millions of fans moving between borders. Then a few months later, the Winter Olympics will light up Milan Cortina, drawing record crowds to Italy's ski towns. Hotel prices in major host cities, Los Angeles, Dallas, Toronto, Mexico City, are already climbing over 200% above normal. Flights and rentals will follow, so early planning is everything. The good news? Cities are boosting transit, opening pop-up hotels, and expanding airport links to handle the surge. The best strategy? Book early and think creatively. Staying 1 train stop away or using park and ride routes can save hundreds. In Italy, regional trains are your best friend. Cheaper, faster, and stress-free when roads shut down for traffic limits. For travelers, this year isn't just about sports, it's about energy. Those who lived through the 2022 World Cup still remember the street celebrations, the global mix of people, and the buzz that turned whole cities into one big party. Expect 2026 to do the same, only louder, bigger, and everywhere. Planning to join the action? Let me know how you're preparing. Because the next rule might hit closer to home: your Airbnb booking. Picture this. You've touched down in Florence after a long flight. You're tired, dragging your suitcase through cobblestone streets, already dreaming of that tiny apartment you booked months ago, only to open your email and see one line: your reservation has been canceled. Not by the host, but by city law. That's what's starting to happen across Europe. Cities like Barcelona, Florence, and Amsterdam are cracking down hard on short-term rentals. Local governments say it's to give housing back to residents. But for travelers, it's turning dream stays into last-minute chaos. In Barcelona, the city plans to end all tourist apartment licenses by 2028, and enforcement's already begun. Florence has banned new listings in its historic center, and every legal rental now needs a visible permit number. No number? That listing isn't legit, even if it looked perfect when you booked. It's already happened to guests who planned everything months ahead: flights, transfers, restaurant reservations, only to find locked doors and refund emails waiting. Here's the simple fix. Book only properties with a verified permit code and check the local city registry before paying. It takes 1 minute and can save your trip. For anyone who loves that live like a local experience, this crackdown is a wake-up call. The travel landscape's shifting, and the old Airbnb playbook doesn't always work anymore. Would you still pick Airbnb if you knew half the listings might vanish before summer? Tell me in the comments, because coming up, we're heading to Italy's coast, where even your license plate decides whether you're allowed to drive that day. A few weeks after a trip to Italy, travelers start receiving letters, plain white envelopes with official crests they can't read. Inside is a €150 fine for unauthorized entry into a restricted traffic zone. No officer, no stop sign, no flashing light, only a quiet camera mounted above the road, watching every license plate that passes. It's part of Italy's ZTL network, short for Zona a Traffico Limitato, low emission and restricted traffic zones designed to protect historic city centers. The problem is, most visitors don't even realize they've crossed into one. There's no visible barrier, and signs are often missed or written only in Italian. The camera records everything, and the system issues fines automatically. Weeks later, the charge quietly appears on your rental car bill. Then there's the Amalfi law, which adds another twist. On certain summer days, only cars with even-numbered plates can drive the coast. The next day, only odd-numbered ones. Locals call it traffic control. For tourists, it's a roulette wheel with your license plate. There's no warning, no alert from your GPS, just a camera and a system that never forgets. To avoid it, take 2 minutes before you drive. Visit urbanaccessregulations.eu. The site lists every LED, ZTL, and the Amalfi restrictions by date. Many travelers only find out these rules exist when the fine arrives, long after the vacation glow has faded. Have you ever been hit with a surprise fine like that? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to see where it happened. And coming up next, Europe's rolling out a digital wallet that could replace passports and driver's licenses altogether. Let's talk about the EUDI wallet and why travelers are split about it. Passport, please. It's on my phone. That might sound odd now, but by 2026, it'll be completely normal across Europe. The EUDI wallet, short for European Digital Identity Wallet, will let you store your passport, driver's license, boarding pass, and even hotel bookings in one verified app. It's built to make travel smoother. Scan your phone, skip the paperwork, move on. But there's a catch. It only works when both sides are ready. If a hotel, car rental desk, or airline hasn't updated its system, they'll still ask for your physical passport. And if your phone dies or loses data access, the wallet goes dark with it. So here's the move. Use it, but never depend on it. Keep paper or PDF backups of your ID and carry a power bank just in case. Fans call it the future of travel. Critics call it a digital leash. What do you think? Comment below and don't miss what's next, because airlines are quietly changing ticket prices you don't even see anymore. Ever notice your favorite flight app feels a little emptier these days? Same route, same dates, but the crazy good deals? Gone. Yeah, you're not imagining it. It's NDC, New Distribution Capability, airlines' newest way to control how their fares appear online. Instead of sharing every price with booking sites, many carriers like American Airlines, Lufthansa Group, and British Airways now keep some bundles and upgrades exclusive to their own websites or NDC-enabled partners. It's kind of like walking into your favorite store and realizing half the shelves are behind a members-only door. On your go-to app, you'll see the basics, but if you want checked bags, free seat selection, or flexible change rules, those options might only exist elsewhere. No wonder flight shopping feels trickier. It's not a glitch, it's strategy. Airlines want you booking direct, not through middlemen that take a cut. So here's the pro move. Check your app, then double-check the airline's own site before you buy. That's how savvy travelers still catch the real deals. If this breakdown helped you, smash that like button and follow, because the next rule might hit where you least expect: your credit card perks and lounge access. Remember when having a premium credit card meant endless lounge access? No questions asked? Yeah, those days are long gone. Starting in 2025 and rolling into 2026, airlines and credit card companies have quietly tightened the rules. Delta Sky Club now limits yearly visits unless you spend big. Think over $75,000 on your card. United Club is adding new membership tiers and cutting guest passes, while other programs are revising guest policies to fight overcrowding. The result? Lounges feel calmer, but much harder to access. A friend of mine found out the hard way in Atlanta, card in hand, long layover ahead, only to be turned away because she'd hit her visit cap for the year. So before your next trip, open your card app and check your access limits. Know how many visits you actually have left and which airports still honor them. Lounge access used to feel like a golden ticket. Now it's more like a membership with fine print that keeps shrinking every year. If you felt that shift too, hit like and don't miss the next rule, because finally, there's some good news. The Schengen zone's about to expand. Finally, some good news for travelers. Europe's Schengen zone is officially expanding. After years of waiting, Romania and Bulgaria have finally joined the border-free travel area. Since March 31st, 2024, flights and ferries between these two countries and the rest of Schengen Europe have become completely borderless. And starting January 1st, 2025, the final step arrives. Land and rail borders will open too, removing the last passport checks between Greece, Hungary, and their eastern neighbors. For travelers, that's huge. Shorter lines, faster routes, and smoother Euro trips across Eastern and Central Europe. You can now fly into Bucharest, hop on a train to Budapest, or drive through Sofia to Greece, all without showing your passport once. It also means easier access to incredible hidden gems. Sibiu, Veliko Tarnovo, and the Black Sea coast are about to get a lot closer. So if you've been waiting for the perfect time to plan a cross-Europe adventure, 2026 is your year. No extra visas, no stamps, no stress, just freedom to explore. Hit like if you're ready for smoother borders. Because the final rule is the best one yet. It's about getting your money back automatically when airlines mess up. This last change is one travelers can actually smile about. After years of frustration, the U.S. Department of Transportation is finally making refunds automatic. No calls, no forms, no begging. Starting October 28, 2024, airlines must issue automatic refunds whenever a flight is canceled or changed so much that you decide not to travel. If you paid by credit card, the money has to be back in your account within 7 business days. For cash, within 20. And that's not all. By spring 2025, extra protections will kick in, covering delayed baggage and even cancellations due to communicable diseases. It's a small rule with a big shift. The burden moves from passengers to the airlines. For once, they have to make it right, automatically. What do you think? Will this finally make air travel fairer or spark new loopholes waiting to be found? Travel in 2026 won't be easier, but it'll definitely be smarter. From new digital IDs and stricter airline policies to Europe's border shifts and refund rules, the skies are changing fast. The difference between a stressful trip and a smooth one now comes down to what you know before you fly. Because when you understand the new systems, the real IDs, the biometric gates, the 90-day limits, even the refund timelines, you travel with confidence, not confusion. So here's the takeaway. Don't fight the changes. Learn them, use them, and make them work for you. That's how smart travelers turn chaos into calm, and every airport into familiar ground. If this video helped you get ready for your next flight, hit like, follow the channel, and turn on notifications, because the next updates are already on the runway for 2027. Thanks for watching, and until next time, safe travels and clear skies.